You brought this old-fashioned scribble to my parlor? A chrysanthemum? What century do you think this is? Listen, Pops, we don't ink museum pieces here. This isn't a cultural heritage site. We're young, modern. We do bold, original art, not some grandma's garden motif. This design is snore-inducing. I'll say it straight. Your style belongs in a retirement home, not on someone's skin. Get it?
He's being so harsh. But why doesn't that man even flinch? There's something strange about his silence.
What's it gonna take? A written eviction? Take your ancient flowers and scram!
The quiet man's hands rested on the sketch, glassy eyes fixed somewhere, beyond the neon glare.
You think I am joking? I've got a waiting list full of real art. You are clogging up my revenue.
Eita-san, please. The chrysanthemum is a respected motif. You shouldn't dismiss it so quickly.
Shut your mouth, apprentice. And you, old man, final warning. Leave or I'll throw you out myself. Traditional Irizumi is a fossil. Nobody wants faded warriors or chrysanthemums anymore. It's embarrassing. Go find a senior center. They'll appreciate your outdated flowers over bingo and green tea.
Eita-san, please. There is history in that design. You can't just...
Shut it. You are an apprentice, not a critic. One more word and you are out tomorrow. And you, fossil. She's only speaking up because you are polluting my shop with your dusty taste.
The sketch slipped from the man's fingers and fluttered to the polished floor. He simply watched it land.
Final answer. Not interested. Now vacate. I have paying clients who understand real art.
How can he stay so still? It's like he's been waiting for this. But why?
He bent slowly, picked up the paper, and smoothed its crumpled edges with a care that seemed almost sacred. At the doorway, his gaze rose to the framed portrait of the master on the wall, and stilled. A quiet recognition flickered. Then he stepped into the night.
Wait, sir. Please don't leave like this. At least tell me, why this design?
It was my mother's favorite. Chrysanthemums. She grew them in her garden when I was small. She fell ill. I retired from everything to care for her. This sketch, she drew it in her final months.
So this is a sob story now. Great. Dead mom nostalgia doesn't make it less boring.
It's beautiful. The way the petals intertwine, it feels like a quiet prayer.
A prayer? Are you serious, Sumire? This is a tattoo parlor, not a temple.
She would have been proud of this girl. A heart that sees the old ways still beats in this neon jungle.
He had seen that look before, in his mother's eyes when she handed him the sketch, her fingers trembling with silent hope.
Please come back in. I want to hear more about her and about you.
Fine. Stand outside all night, crying about flowers. See if I care. I have a client in 10.
15 years ago, this man was not a stranger to ink. His hands had been steady with a brush. His name murmured with reverence in the old parlors of Tokyo. His mother often sat in the corner, hands folded, watching her son turn skin into living stories. A certificate of mastery hung on the wall. Takashi Yanagi, recognized as a full master of traditional Irizumi. He was 29, then came the diagnosis. He folded his studio without a second thought and became her sole caregiver. In her final weeks, she pressed a small paper into his palm, a chrysanthemum drawn with a trembling hand.
She whispered, "Put this on your wrist, so I'll always be with you."
He made a silent vow, but grief and duty kept the paper folded in a drawer. Until tonight.
Eita's words are nothing. Losing her was the wound that never healed.
Sir, are you all right? You look like you are carrying the weight of something very old.
Tonight, I will keep a promise. Nothing else matters.
Please come inside. I'll bring tea. Eita won't be done for a while.
Inside, Ita's machine buzzed like angry hornets against a client's back, the air thick with the scent of antiseptic and heavy bass.
Here, green tea. It's not much, but please rest while you wait.
Why did Sumire let that fossil back in? Whatever. He's not getting a tattoo here.
Eita's client left, and the parlor fell quiet. Then Eita's gaze landed on the wall, and his chest puffed with pride.
That's Master Hiroshi, the man who taught me everything. And his own teacher, a ghost, the greatest traditional artist Japan ever saw. Nobody knows his name. He vanished. But without him, I wouldn't be here.
Don't you ever wonder about the man who trained your master?
Doesn't matter. Probably dead. The legend lives through Hiroshi and through me.
The irony hung thick as neon smoke. Takashi's silence was a stillness that filled the room, the framed photo casting a long shadow.
But you don't know his name? How can someone so important be forgotten?
Who cares? The old styles die out. Tradition is a ghost you can't charge money for. Probably died in some mountain village. Good riddance. We don't need those ancient relics anymore.
Takashi's fingers curled tighter around the sketch. Eita had just wished death on a ghost, who was very much alive.
But to give up a life's work like that, to leave behind everything, I can't imagine it.
Her face was more important than any legend. She was my world.
He closed his eyes for a moment, and the portrait of her last peaceful smile replaced the flickering neon.
Hey, old man, you still here? Staring at the photo won't change the fact you are not getting ink tonight.
I was just remembering. Please, continue. I am not in a hurry.
The secret remained sealed behind his gentle expression, but its weight grew with every careless syllable. An older customer shuffled in to collect his healed piece. His eyes caught the framed photo, and he chuckled softly. He remarked, Hiroshi-san was lucky. His teacher was a genius who truly understood the soul of Airazumi.
Yeah, a legend. But hey, I trained under Hiroshi, so I am practically touched by greatness myself.
The elderly man nodded politely and left. The door chimed behind him, leaving a heavier silence.
Sir, what do you think makes a true master? Not fame, but the real thing.
Respect. A true master doesn't chase trends. He carries stories forward, honoring those who came before.
Ha! Honoring those who came before. That's just a fancy way to say stuck in the past. No thanks.
The past isn't a cage. It's a foundation. Without it, ink is just noise on skin.
The depth of his words hung between them, ancient and unshakable. Sumire felt something shift inside her.
He speaks like someone who has lived it. Who is this man? His words echo like a forgotten song. Let me try to capture that feeling.
Sumire's pen flew across the page, tracing a chrysanthemum intertwined with flowing water, a quiet tribute to the old ways.
What's this? Cute little doodle trying to impress the fossil with that old-fashioned scribble?
I was just trying something new. The flowing lines felt right.
Right? It's boring. Same as his. No edge. No originality. You are an embarrassment, Sumire.
Number, it has soul. The water flows naturally, and the chrysanthemum breathes. You have a gift.
You think you can come in here and turn my apprentice against me? I am the head artist. Both of you conspiring behind my back. What's your plan? Ruin my reputation?
Eita-san, no. It was just a sketch. He only tried to encourage me.
The parlor crackled with a new, volatile tension. Eita's grip on his kingdom, for the first time, felt slippery.
You, old fossil, you walk in here, lecture me about art, poison my apprentice with your outdated nonsense, and then you stand there with that saintly smile? Who do you think you are? Some forgotten relic?
I am no one. But true art doesn't scream for attention. It whispers, and those who listen understand.
Eita-san, this is too much. He only shared his thoughts. There's no conspiracy.
Eita's face twisted with fury. He took a menacing step forward, fist raised. But before his hand could fall, the door chime cut through the air like a knife. Time froze. Every eye snapped toward the entrance, the air suddenly thick with anticipation. A tall silhouette stood backlit by the wet streetlights, night folding around it like a cloak. The figure stepped forward into the faint neon glow, and the room's breath caught in every throat.
That presence, it's like a storm about to break. Who could that be?
The man stepped into the neon glow. Hiroshi, the master whose photo watched over the parlor. His sharp eyes swept the room, missing nothing.
Master Hiroshi, you are early. What's with the serious face?
What's this? The temperature in here feels like a blade's edge.
Then his gaze landed on the quiet man in the corner, and the world tilted. The bag slipped from his fingers and hit the floor with a thud that echoed louder than any shout.
It can't be.
Master Hiroshi looks like he's seen a ghost. What is this connection?
Master? What's wrong? You look pale as a sheet.
But Hiroshi couldn't speak. He simply stared, as if 15 years had just collapsed into a single breath. The photo on the wall seemed to glow as if it had been waiting all night for this moment. The room itself held its breath. Hiroshi dropped to his knees and bowed so low his forehead touched the cold floor.
Takashi-sensei, I am unworthy to stand before you.
The name cut through the silence like a thunderclap. Even Sumire gasped.
Sensei, Master, what are you saying? This old man can't be.
Fool. This is Takashi Yanagi, the master who taught me everything. He is the legend you've been mocking.
Eita's world shattered. The photo on the wall, his boasts, his insults all crashed down at once.
Numb? No, that's impossible. He's just a washed-up relic who wanted a flower tattoo.
You've disgraced this parlor, Eita. You've insulted my teacher, the very root of our art.
Hiroshi, you've grown. Your student's passion is not all wrong.
But Eita could not hear the mercy. He could only see the abyss opening beneath his feet.
Sumire, tell me everything that happened. I want the truth, and I want it now.
He laughed at the chrysanthemum, called it a grandma's flower. He said traditional Irizumi was dead and ordered him to leave.
You boasted about the legendary master while mocking him to his face. You have disgraced this entire lineage.
Eita's knees hit the floor. His throat closed, the arrogant words now ash in his mouth.
Eita, stunned. It's all right. I hold no anger. The only debt here is the one I owe to my mother.
Eita looked up, eyes wide and wet. The kindness was a mirror that showed him every flaw.
Sensei, his behavior was inexcusable. He must face consequences for what he's done.
Consequences, yes, but not born of rage. Let him find the root he has forgotten.
Why is he sparing me? I humiliated him. I mocked his dead mother.
The parlor was a painting of suspended motion. Hiroshi's anger smoldered, but Takashi's calm was absolute.
Please, Takashi-sensei, tell me how to atone. I'll do anything.
You will be barred from touching a needle for a year. No clients, no machine.
Eita's head sank lower. The sentence pressed down like a flood.
A year away from the needle. Yes, but not idle. Go to the mountains.
Sensei, what do you have in mind?
There is a small studio in the north. Master Ito still teaches from the earth. Spend 1 year as his humblest apprentice. Sweep, draw, relearn the ink.
A rural apprenticeship. Me, after everything I've done.
That is precisely why. You need to understand what you hold in your hands before you can ever touch skin again.
If Sensei wills it, I will send him. But Eita, you must not fail him.
The sentence was passed, but it was also a gift. Tomorrow, he would leave the neon for the silence of the hills.
Sensei, allow me to ink this for you. It would be my honor to repay even a fraction of what you gave me.
Thank you, Hiroshi. It has waited too long.
Hiroshi moved to his station and unwrapped a silk cloth, revealing a set of traditional hand tools polished by years of use. Ink stone, sumi, a cluster of needles, each piece laid out with the care of a ritual. Takashi unbuttoned his cuff and gently rolled up the sleeve, revealing a clean, untouched wrist, a canvas waiting for its story.
This spot, where she used to hold my hand. Now it will hold her memory.
He's been carrying that paper for 15 years, and I almost made him walk away again.
What colors, Sensei? She chose the flower. What did she love?
The palest pink. like the dawn she planted them in, and green leaf veins. She said it meant resilience.
The needle waited in the lamp's glow. The parlor had never been so still.
Each line must carry his 15 years of waiting. I won't falter.
The first puncture was a tiny bloom of color. Takashi's breath, caught for an instant, then steadied into quiet acceptance. In the lull of the needle, a memory surfaced. His mother's hand, trembling but certain, placing the paper into his open palm. Hiroshi's needle traced the stem with the precision of a calligrapher, green ink anchoring the flower to the living skin.
She used to hum while gardening. The same rhythm. It's almost here.
Her smile, worn but warm, flickered behind his eyelids. "It will blossom with you," she had whispered. The chrysanthemum unfolded petal by petal, pale pink bleeding into a story that had waited 2 decades for ink.
So that's what real ink looks like. Not noise. A promise kept.
With a final, almost reverent stroke, Hiroshi lifted the needle. The chrysanthemum breathed on Takashi's wrist.
It is done, Sensei. She is with you now.
Takashi-sensei. May I show you something? It's only a sketch, but please, teach me the old ways. I want to carry them forward.
The chrysanthemum again, and the water. You feel it in your bones. I will reopen my private studio. Sumire, you have the spirit. Come and learn the roots.
Sumire's eyes flooded. Her hand trembled as she clasped the sketchbook to her chest.
I won't waste a single moment, Sensei. Thank you. Thank you.
Hiroshi placed a hand on her shoulder, his earlier anger replaced by a fatherly pride.
You are giving her the same gift you once gave me. I'll watch her rise.
The path is steep, but she has already climbed higher than most. Trust her hands.
And so, in the neon glow of a Shibuya parlor, an old master passed down a story and a future. Weeks later, a single road led Eita deep into the northern mountains. The city noise was a distant memory. He stood before a small wooden studio, bowing deeply to a wizened master whose eyes held centuries. His first task was to sweep the floor, a simple act that felt heavier than any tattoo he had done.
Every stroke of the broom reminds me, I am here to start from nothing.
Meanwhile, in a quiet corner of the old city, Takashi's private studio opened its doors for the first time in 15 years.
Please accept me as your humblest student. I will not waste a day.
Come, the inkstone is waiting, and the first lesson is patience.
Sumire knelt on the tatami, brush in hand, tracing the same chrysanthemum that had started it all.
This petal holds his mother's smile. I must honor it.
And so, in 2 distant corners of the country, the old ink began to flow again. Months blurred into muscle memory. Sumire's brushstrokes grew surer. Her understanding of the old motifs deepened with every dawn. Her fingertips hardened, tiny callouses forming where the needle would soon rest, her hands becoming tools of the art.
Again, the water must flow, not freeze. Let the wrist guide the motion.
Each time, a little less force. The ink is starting to listen to me.
In the mountain studio, Eita no longer just swept. He sat at the edge, watching the old master ink with a silence that was new to him.
Patience. That old guy moves like he's praying. I never understood that before.
Then, on a scrap of practiced skin, Sumire's needle finally met the material. The chrysanthemum emerged, imperfect, but alive.
You've given it a heartbeat. Now refine the pulse.
It's not beautiful yet, but it's mine. And he didn't say wrong.
In the city, a chrysanthemum breathed on synthetic skin. In the mountains, a young man learned to listen. Both roads led back to the same route. A year later, Sumire faced her first client. The needle in her hand weighed like a prayer.
Don't rush. Let the line breathe. Every hour of training was for this.
The client sat still. Takashi watched the chrysanthemum bloom from behind her shoulder. Silent, proud, when she finally set the needle aside. The design was small, but precise. A chrysanthemum with petals that seemed to sway in the lamp's warmth.
Thank you, Sensei. for believing, for every hour.
You were ready before you picked up the needle. I only reminded you.
He showed her his own wrist, where the healed chrysanthemum rested, its edges softened by months of living skin.
2 blossoms now breathe. Her promise and yours.
High in the north, an elderly master set a fresh needle in Ata's open palm and gave a single, slow nod.
No more noise. Only the thread I was always meant to sew.
Evening fell on a modern gallery in the heart of the city. The banner read, Sumire, New Horizons in Irezumi. Inside, every invitation carried the same quiet inscription, dedicated to my master, Takashi. Sumire stood before walls of her work, chrysanthemums, dragons, flowing water, each piece a testament to years of quiet study. The crowd's applause rippled through the room as she bowed deeply, her voice steady and clear.
She made the chrysanthemum her own. Mother, do you see this?
Nearby, Ata watched in a simple houri, his once spiked hair now natural and soft.
She did what I couldn't. She listened to the ink.
Large fabric prints of her Irezumi floated from the walls like prayers. The air was thick with admiration.
Everything I am, I owe to the master who taught me that tradition is a living river.
And in that river, a quiet master stood at the back, his chrysanthemum wrist, tracing a tear down his cheek. Weeks later, in a small hall lined with silk and incense, Sumire knelt before the council of elders. An ornate scroll was rested in her open palms, the official certification of mastery in traditional Irezumi.
This paper is heavier than any needle. I hope Sensei is watching.
From a distant doorway, Takashi watched, his breath held, his wrist hidden beneath his sleeve.
She did it. Another promise kept. Mother, she is the bloom now.
Their eyes met across the room, a flicker of mutual understanding that needed no translation.
He is proud. I can see it in the lines around his eyes.
She rose, crossed the hall, and bowed so deeply her forehead nearly touched the floor. He returned it, equal to equal. No words passed. The silence was filled with years of shared ink and trust. And in that quiet hall, 2 masters stood. One who had returned, and one who had risen. A narrow path through the cemetery, lined with soft grass and old stone markers, led him home. He knelt before a simple grave, the name on the stone worn by years of wind and rain.
I kept my promise, Oka-san. The chrysanthemum is on my wrist, just where your hand used to be.
The pale pink petals seemed to drink the sunlight, alive in a way only her memory could make them.
Sensei, I hoped I would find you here. I brought flowers from my garden. I thought she might like them.
She would have loved this. 2 chrysanthemums now, yours and hers.
They stood together in silence, the only sound the gentle rustle of leaves and a faraway bird. The grave marker wore a soft crown of petals now, a promise inked, a legacy tended, and the breeze carried the scent of flowers across the old paths, where all circles finally close.